What's up guys, this is Danny from Rethink Peer-to-Peer Lending. Welcome back to yet another portfolio update on my channel. In today's video, I will share with you the performance of my peer-to-peer lending portfolio in November, as well as discuss the most recent events that have happened on 9 different platforms. Overall, I was able to earn a total of 693 euros from my peer-to-peer lending portfolio in November, which is the highest income I have ever achieved with this asset class in more than 6 years. New records in terms of my personal income from individual peer-to-peer platforms came in the previous month by Esketit with 202 euros and the Lithuanian platform Heavy Finance with 17 euros. The best performance in my peer-to-peer portfolio is still delivered by PeerBerry with 12.87%, closely followed by Income Marketplace with 12.78%. As of this month, I will also start to list the returns of CrowdPeer, Heavy Finance and Profitus in my overview after being in my portfolio for more than 6 months. The decreasing performance of Estateguru continued also last month, with my total return dropping now to 6.88%. Negative leader though remains Bondora Portfolio Pro with 1.4%. In the previous month, I had a total of 5 transactions in my portfolio. In terms of deposits, 1,000 euros were added each to PeerBerry, Esketit and Twino. In terms of withdrawals, 1,000 euros have been withdrawn from Via Invest and 200 euros from Neo Finance. The value of my outstanding peer-to-peer portfolio has now increased to 83,967 euros, which is the highest portfolio amount I have ever had with peer-to-peer loans. Next up, let's take a closer look at the latest developments that have happened on 9 different platforms in recent weeks. After PeerBerry partner Aventus decided to not issue any more Polish loans on the marketplace from 2024 onwards, the company is now trying to close the supply gap with different lenders such as the Mexican company Crédito 365. The short-term consumer loans are offered with a 10% interest rate as well as the classic buyback and group guarantee. Despite all the recent noise in Poland, 80.4 million euros went over the counter in November, which is a new record for the platform. However, the assets under management have declined from 116 to now 109 million euros. On the other side, Esketit was able to increase its assets under management to above 35 million euros. Stable growth, reliable repayments and high liquidity are just 3 out of 7 reasons why Esketit should be considered for investors' peer-to-peer portfolios in 2024. Income Marketplace recently received an apology from the management of the Mexican lender Vivus for the inconvenience caused by the delayed repayments. According to the lender, the compliance department of the bank from which the earlier repayments were made has now decided to refuse all transfers to financial institutions that do not have a banking license. Hence, the lender has now decided to transfer the funds to another financial institution. As soon as the migration procedure has been completed, the repayment process is supposed to be resumed. Vivus has also been a big part of my recent discussion with Income founder Kimmo, where we talked about the extent to which Income's softer approach to dialogue in recovery situations may cause losing some trust from investors. But also topics like the new repayment plan at ClickCash, conflicts of interest or the auto-invest problems have been addressed. A platform that obviously is struggling a lot with its IT infrastructure is LANDE. As this seems to be a persistent problem, the platform decided to introduce a bi-weekly newsletter to discuss the latest status updates. Also personally, I am affected by this issue as my outstanding portfolio amount decreased by roughly 10 euro in October, likely due to some secondary market transactions. My inquiry to IT support on November 10th is still pending, which is why LANDE disqualifies itself for new investments until further notice. By contrast, the situation at Estateguru seems much more difficult as the announced wave of recoveries by the end of 2023 has recently been called off. In a detailed update, Estateguru spoke about the difficulties in Germany and explained first recoveries are not to be expected until the second quarter of 2024. As a reminder, during the course of the year, Estateguru claimed that less than 20% of the portfolio would be in recovery by the end of 2023, whereas now the platform stands at roughly 50%. According to Estateguru, 50% of borrowers are currently cooperating and communicating with Estateguru and its partner Steinberg to find a solution for repayment. However, this contrasts with 35% of problematic lenders where a recovery period of more than 2 years is expected. Clearly a year to forget for Estateguru, and I'm quite sure that the consequences of this poor performance will also affect the platform for years to come. Monefit SmartSaver recently celebrated its first birthday and for the first time ever made a public admission with regard to the advertised liquidity. Behind the scenes, it has already been confirmed to me that in an emergency, only around 20 to 25% of Monefit deposits could be paid out to investors immediately. The rest would have to be generated from CreditStar's lending business or redirected from other sources. This fact has now been commented publicly for the first time. The fact that Monefit is no longer trying to convey the character of unlimited liquidity can be seen as positive. However, investors must now draw their own conclusions for themselves. We remain with the CreditStar environment for the time being and take a quick look at the latest news from Lendermarket, which surely came off as a surprise for many investors. The platform announced it would temporarily pause further lending activities until it receives the European crowdfunding service provider license. Investors now need to ask themselves 2 questions. 1. How come Lendermarket is talking about regulation for the first time now and not before, although the deadline for obtaining the license was already on November 10th? 2. Why would the license actually be needed if it's not required for the current marketplace model? The fact that Lendermarket wants to be licensed as a crowdfunding platform only makes sense if other financial instruments such as bonds are to be offered in the future, or if Lendermarket wants to crowdfund equity for real estate. Since I can't tell where Lendermarket is going with this, it confirms my belief to stay away from the platform for the time being. A more positive trend can be found at Debitum, where after many years the auto invest feature has been reintroduced. The settings to be selected are classic criteria such as interest rate, loan term, lender selection and portfolio size. The highlight though is the new auto withdrawal feature, which allows investors to transfer their monthly interest income directly to their bank account. The only downside is that investors will need to have an outstanding portfolio balance of more than 10,000 euros. Overall, the change of ownership at Debitum seems to have brought a breath of fresh air to the peer-to-peer platform, as also the interest rate level on the marketplace has recently improved significantly. If there is an even more transparent approach to portfolio management and loan portfolio performance in the future, I would no longer rule out a possible comeback at Debitum for 2024. Last but not least, I would like to renew a warning regarding a platform that has already taken legal actions against me this year and that took down 2 of my videos. If published figures by the platform can be trusted, around 4,000 new investors have joined High Five in a period of just over 3 weeks. This means as many investors signed up on the platform in the past 3 weeks as in the first 11 months of the year combined. And to be very honest with you, I even found the previous figures pretty unrealistic. In my opinion, it is highly doubtful that the proclaimed loan volume figures are also correct in this context. Please remember that there are still a lot of scumbags out there in the peer-to-peer market trying to take advantage of investors' dump money, which is why I would encourage you to be very careful about any sources that you come across. For objective analysis, I advise you to check out my review page on the blog, where I have conducted more than 20 extensive platform reviews based on my personal experiences in the past 6 years. On that note, I would like to thank all my loyal viewers that have supported me throughout this year. Merry Christmas to all of you, and please stay safe.